All right, I'm Jay Stager from Cold Country Vines and Wines, and this is Louie.
I'm here, Kay Stager.
I'm Tammy Getzinski.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a tasting of our brand new Zinfandel. We've never bottled Zinfandel before, and we're going to do a tasting of that, and then we're going to finish off the video by doing a tasting of the soon-to-be released 2019 Winter Mountain Merlot, which a lot of you already know the Winter Mountain Merlot, and it's always been a crowd pleaser for full-bodied wine lovers. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to try it. Kay right now is pouring the Zinfandel, and this is a California Zinfandel, and it came along kind of interesting. When I was making it, it had this really strong raisiny flavor at first, and I thought, well, this is going to be not that great. But as it came along, I'd like to say that I've never tasted it before, but I've tasted it probably every day for the last 3 months.
And I just want to add, for those members that are, for those people that are members of the Dry Wine Club, which we just released on May 5th, you will hopefully enjoy the new release of the Zinfandel.
Yes, you'll get to try it with your Wine Club release. So,
yeah.
Now, it had an extreme raisiny flavor at first, and now that has subsided significantly, and realistically now,
Cloves.
I get the clove. I do get the clove, but to me, compared to we drank a high-end Zinfandel.
Oh,
just,
the old vine Zinfandel.
Just less than a week ago to compare it. And that is a totally different wine than this. This, to me, is more like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, this is very medium-bodied.
Yeah.
The old vine Zinfandel that we had was very, very...
It was full-bodied.
Full-bodied.
Yep. And it was great. But, we got a lot of full-bodied wines already. I kind of like the fact that this is like a Pinot Noir, because we have so many customers that say, what do you got that's like a Pinot Noir?
What's similar to Pinot Noir?
We could tell you what we got now that's like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah, it's the Zinfandel.
And still, after, how long ago did we bottle this? About a week and a half ago now?
No, our release was May 5th, so I think we did it like the last week of
It was Wednesday,
April.
so it was exactly a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And it's funny because when I hear Zinfandel, I think of the old white Zinfandel that you usually use for a spritzer or something like that. This is like...
Unfortunately, most people
different.
do. This is the same grape that they use to make white Zinfandel. And what they do to make white Zinfandel is they just pick this grape and then they press it immediately, and none of the color goes into the wine. And with all of your California style grapes, that is exactly what happens. You get no color if you do you go right to press. On the other hand, if you ferment them with the skins and the seeds, the color leaches out of the skins because of the fermentation process, and you get this nice color.
So many people say, "Oh, Zinfandel! I'm surprised it's red."
Right.
I was thinking
they get all excited because they're expecting to taste this sweet blush. Zinfandel, white Zinfandel is a totally baffling thing to me. Is why they call it white Zinfandel, because it's not a white Zinfandel. It's a blush or a rosé. It's not a white. So why do they call it white Zinfandel?
But I just remember years and years back, that was the drink, was the white Zinfandel spritzer.
And I drank a lot of white
7-Up
Zinfandel.
in there, whatever. So when you hear Zinfandel, that's what you think of.
So if you look at someone who's featuring a white, there'll be a white, a red, and a Zinfandel.
I probably have to confess that I probably said the same thing as these customers who say, I thought Zinfandel was a white.
Yes, because I remember years ago doing that, and when I saw this, I'm like, oh, what?
Nowadays.
So why don't we see much of white Zinfandel anymore? High end.
It just lost its popularity. There was no such thing as a high-end white Zinfandel. They were all cheap.
Okay.
They were very, very, they were low end, they were full of sugar, and they were low cost, and people loved them. And it was, basically, it was a California thing where they don't have many sweet wines in California, and that was a sweet wine, and that's why it took off.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And this is not sweet
No,
by any means.
this, I would say, is a great Zinfandel, and I think people who make a white Zinfandel and put a bunch of sugar in it it's a travesty. This is such a good grape. They shouldn't be doing
this
that.
this is very nice.
This is the people's answer to a Pinot Noir.
It is.
It is.
It's a very inexpensive way to make a good Pinot Noir because it's a more predictable grape. Pinot Noir is very finicky.
Yeah.
I've had way more bad ones than I've had good ones.
Well, I just want to get back to this. I mean, it's balanced. It has a nice fruit forward
Yeah.
flavor. Has a nice finish.
It's got a tiny bit of oak
I was
on
going
the
to
front
ask.
end.
Yep.
Did you give how much oak is on this?
It's more than it. I shouldn't have said tiny. It's more than tiny. It's
I don't pick
medium
up the oak a whole lot. I think the oak really.
You stick your nose in it. That's all I smell is oak.
I smell cloves.
And I can taste the oak.
Yeah, I think the oak.
But
is,
it's a
is
nice
very well
balance.
balanced, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a very nice balance.
I'm happy with this wine. And if you are one of our regular customers, you all know that I'm not happy with all our wines. With that being said, we are going to move on to the Winter Mountain Merlot. We're going to finish up these glasses, and we will join you again as soon as we get to our Winter Mountain.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.